I can say, saved and made the best brand in the world. They went, I can say, too fast into future. What really helped Japanese to win the war of business in motorcycle is our oldest motorcycle, not only for the aesthetics and the design, but of course for
So this is not just a bike, this is a whole part of the history of the island.
I would say scrap from the planes that they were either crashed.
I'm right now at the city center of Nicosia, the capital of Cyprus. There is a really interesting hidden gem here. Argyris and his father, they've been working and collecting really old precious models of motorcycles, and it's really worth visiting here. But let's see why. I'm right now here with Argyris, which apparently is an old schoolmate of mine. We just met again here. Argyris, you want to tell us a bit?
Yes, of course. Good morning, guys. Nice to see you again after all these years. Guys, welcome to our museum here. We will see together 150 motorcycles together with 2 cars, all of them found here in Cyprus by my father, who started collecting motorcycles when he was 15 years old. We will see motorcycles from the very early times of 112 years ago, before World War I even started. World War II, 1950s, 1960s, I can say we will cover all of the decades until 1980s.
So let's have a look.
Yeah, of course. Up here we will see our oldest motorcycle, the new Hudson. You can clearly see how old is the technology on it. It's a belt drive system with acetylene light, oil pump by hand, and hand shifter gears. So this motorcycle has no clutch, no throttle, no kickstart, no hand start. Mainly, I can say, is one of the very early beginning of motorcycle evolution from a bicycle. You can see that they still have the rubber pads for the front brakes and the rear.
So like a normal bicycle?
At that time. So many years later, at least later than mid-20s, we have the first drum brakes.
Do we know anything about who owned this motorcycle?
This motorcycle was owned from a very rich serviceman by the British colony times before World War I. At that time, Cypriots, I can say they were very poor people.
So they couldn't afford the motorcycle. So this is a British-made
New Hudson was made in Birmingham. Of course, Birmingham was one of the biggest industrial areas in the world at that time. Like BSA stands for Birmingham Small Arms, Triumph, Norton.
Still exists. Royal Enfield I see here.
Royal Enfield when it was under Britain, because today is under India.
Yes.
So moving on here in the 1920s, you will see a BSA 500cc here, 4-stroke engine with a side valve engine, so you can clearly see the springs that they are exposed. One of the very early times, drum brakes on both wheels, on the rear and on the front. And of course here we have a final drive as a chain. Some things started to change here. 3 years later, a Triumph here from 1930, from the flat tank type of motorcycle that we had, they changed a little bit the frame, so the frame now is under the tank and not surrounding the tank. The engine continued to have the same type as side valve, and here we have one of the very first headlights with 6-volt bulbs. So the NSD 550 was iconic for Triumph for the more additional items that it had on its time.
What are we looking at here? I see it's from the 30s.
Here we have a very early NJS R8 model. The motorcycle is a very beautiful, let's say, model from the brand. It's a 500cc single cylinder with overhead valve exposed here, with twin port exhaust also. How we have a single cylinder and 2 exhausts.
2 exhausts, right?
So NJS, Ariel, Matchless, and many British manufacturers, they used this system on the very early motorcycles, not only for the aesthetics and the design, but of course for the performance. The historic part of this motorcycle, as you can see on the registration number, it describes L 068. This means Larnaca district 68 vehicle. So every city at that time had its own letter for describing from wherever the vehicle was coming
So
from.
what's the difference between Larnaca and Limassol then?
So double L.
Limassol is double L.
Yes.
Okay.
And you
Problem
will see various like the N,
It's
Nicosia, and so on.
Okay.
It was a good system that described back then. Of course, later on it changed. This is also a very nice example of the very nice James Autocycle. So James is the brand. It was using Villiers engine from England, of course, two-stroke engines. You can clearly see the pedals, of course. So it's like something today, electric scooters or something like
So they
that.
could both do the pedal but also give the...
So to start this bike, you had to pedal it.
So it was just purely for starting the
Yes,
bike?
only.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you could go by using it like a normal motorcycle. Some people, of course, when they run out of fuel, you can still pedal, but the pedal is heavy.
Yes.
Because you had to move the piston and the crank and the engine compression, and it
Okay.
made it stiff.
So you also, it's like going to the gym at the same time.
Yeah, that's why the old guys had really legs like that.
And I also see a lot of Vespas here.
Yes, Vespa, Lambretta. You will see, of course, some other scooters that Austria made, the Puch, the one with the open fender.
Okay.
And next of them is a Maiko from Western Germany, or either called Maikoletta, which it was really successful on the times when Germany was pissed in two. Vespa used parts from the Air Force. So you will see many times they have a logo here from the Air Force. The rims and some of the fenders, they were, I would say, scrap from the planes that they were either crashed or leftovers from the factory. And then they were bending them or creating them in a way that it will fit onto a motorcycle.
Interesting. So Vespa created the circular economy before it was cool.
Yes.
And I think at this point we should also see, I saw some Hondas back there, so maybe we should move
Of
there.
course, we will move and see the bikes from the 70s.
I see here until here at least, the Japanese section.
Yeah. In this section you will see various motorcycles. I will start from the Suzuki here that we are standing in front of and move to the final end. It's the first firefighter motorcycle for Cyprus. It was used in Nicosia because of the narrow streets. Our fire trucks couldn't enter the city. They had two fire extinguishers that they were going on the same brackets you see on the back. And they were equipped, if I remember correct, either with 15 or even 20 liters. And we are moving to the technology.
to the queen of Japan.
Yeah. So CMB Sirius is the motorcycle that I can say saved and made Honda the best brand in the world until today. And you can see that CMB continued
Until
up to
today,
now.
yeah.
They had various CMBs, of course. The four-cylinder CMB started from a 350 and it was all the way up to 900 in the 70s. You can see here even an engine from a CMB 550, how it was so nicely constructed as a unit. So you have the four cylinders with, of course, the single overhead cam, this model, and later it became the double overhead cam shaft. It was a very nice bike that you had the starter here. You had also the kickstarter.
Yeah.
So electronic and kickstart. You had disc brakes. And
It was quite innovative for the time.
12 volts batteries. So they went, I can say, too fast into future, where other manufacturers stayed really behind. And what really helped Japanese to win the war of business in motorcycle is mass production. If you see in all the other countries, they were building like 5,000 pieces, 3,000 pieces, maybe 6,000, 7,000.
Whereas the Japanese went for a mass production,
Imagine,
which also helped Honda, I assume, to sell more. Nice.
Honda, they were smart. They had, I can tell you, every model from 50cc difference, like 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, all the way up to 1000cc. So with the money you had in your pocket, you could buy a brand new bike with a new technology and of course 0 kilometers, whether to buy an old one.
Honda made it affordable for every
person and every need also. They had categories like off-road bikes, scrambler bikes, street bikes, cruisers, anything you can imagine.
And this brings us to the Honda Goldwing here.
Yeah.
So this is from
1978, 79.
Yeah.
Goldwing, I can say it was mainly targeted to hit the American market. Here, Goldwing was really a beautiful motorcycle with a flat 4 engine, 1000cc or boxer 4 for the persons who know it in that way. Of course, double disc brakes in the front with a great torque. These bikes in America, they were the biggest enemies of Harley. Somebody could buy maybe in half price of a Harley and make a really long trip without any losing of oil or engine problems.
Or any back pain maybe.
Yeah, hardtail Harleys had that issue, yeah.
Okay, let's move to the section with the historical meaning for Cyprus.
Let's go. Two Triumphs TRWs from 1957. They were our first police bikes that they've been used from the very early times of Cyprus police. We have a mannequin here to show it to the people.
Quite stylish, I would say.
I can say it's more fashionable than today's uniform. Though some countries in African region still use the beige color as a uniform.
I now see the face of John F. Kennedy here and the first president of
Makarios,
Cyprus,
yes.
Makarios, yes.
So these two motorcycles, they were gifted from John Kennedy to our first president, Makarios.
He was trying to lure us into his own power and go away from the Soviet Union. Harley Davidson didn't succeed to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
And you were saying before something that this was the first model from Harley that was
the Softail. Yeah. So before of the Duong Light, they were hardtail like the WLA from World War II. And of course the spine of persons was really gone.
A very short history. So Cyprus used to be a British colony, and during 1955 to 1959 the revolution started, and in the 60s we managed to gain our independence. How did this motorcycle help with the revolution?
Yeah, here you can see this is the motorcycle of Stylianos Lenas, the bomb guy of EOKA. At that time, people needed a fast getaway. Car wasn't a very good solution as you can't hide it. Yeah, they will see you and you will be very slow, of course, and you will go only in a road. Very small James here with the original rucksack with the time that they crafted it for carrying the bombs and anything that it was needed at the time. It was very maneuverable, I can say. You can see how small is the motorcycle. Easy to be hidden by trees and stuff like that. And it was very helpful. Another very nice thing that you can see is that the registration numbers, they were written by hand by the same persons who were in the war at that time.
So the person who wrote this probably received a bomb on his office at some point.
So
this is not just a bike. So this is a whole part of the history of the island, whole part of the whole independence revolution here in Cyprus.
Next of it, you will see the motorcycle of Andreas Azinas. Andreas Azinas was like the number one of EOKA, I can say. And later on, he continued into Cyprus government as a very, really high, let's say, rank person in government. And next of them, another very nice motorcycle history with the gunsmith of EOKA. So here you can see clearly the mount that he had for his gun. You will tell me now how easy it is to ride a motorcycle with one hand in off-roading and shoot with the other hand. Very difficult.
So what do we have here? I see a lot of war machines and machine guns.
Correct. So in front of us we will see the section of World War II vehicles. And great history before I tell you about the vehicles. We have our grandfather who went in World War II. He was trained 7 days only in 1939, and he was sent in El Alamein later on in 1941 to fight against the German Nazis of Rommel, the desert rats, how they used to call it, the desert fox, as Rommel was called. Very tough battles in the desert, as you have no objects or houses or anything to hide behind. He was very lucky that came back alive and told very nice stories of the war. You will tell me now, nice stories, not really, but when a person survives from a so tough war of 6 years, it's something nice to see him coming back alive. So moving now on to the historical info of the motorcycles and the car. On this section is the two US brands that they were contributed heavily to the war.
So this is a Harley
Davidson WLA 750. You can see how they had mounted the gun on the side. A very great information to mention. These Harleys, they used to lean them on the ground and hide behind them, so they have it as an obstacle for bullets to reach them. Yeah. The guns that they used, it was semi-automatic or automatic Thompson with various magazines. Some of them were rounded, some of them they were clicked on and stuff like that. And of course a huge ammo box that they had on the side, that they were carrying about close to 300 bullets or so, together with the back one. And the Willys MB on the right hand side, which was the very successful first 4x4 car in the world.
That's the first 4x4 car in the world.
And of course,
and it's a Jeep.
Yeah, later on became the Jeep factory. It was Willys MB, and then after the war it became Jeep.
Okay.
So
interesting
Jeep, let's say, used to stand for just enough essential parts on the time, of course. Today, with so much technology, it's something different, of course, but
yes, it evolved to something different completely.
Here we have the German motorcycles from BMW, the R71 and Boxer engine of 750, together with the MG32 and MG34 machine gunnery that they had at the time. This motorcycle, though, it was ridden by 3 persons. You had the rider, the co-rider. His job, it was to help the machine gunner to refill the machine gun. So you will see they have boxes even on the sides of the sidecar. So when these ran out of bullets, immediately the other guy had to take out ammo and refill it for him.
So we see that the Germans were more into heavy machines, too many people, whereas the Americans went for a more robust and agile way of fighting.
The same way the British did, you can see on the backside, the BSA, Norton, Triumph and Matchless, where all of them, they were as lightweight as it could be to say, and easy to be maneuverable or controllable by any soldier. And also the simplicity of these machines was the unique key for surviving in the war. If somebody needed to be a mechanic to fix any of this bike, it was a problem, because not all of the soldiers... A lot of people
were knowledgeable and handy with mechanics. Again, major difference compared to the quite complex machine that the Nazis did. Not only Cyprus history, but here we're talking about the whole world history.
Yeah, Cyprus helped really a lot, I can say, in Africa campaign. So other countries like Poland, Czechia, of course USSR at the time, helped in Europe, but Cyprus as a British colony helped way more in African region like Egypt, Libya, the place where Israel is now and all these places there in the deserts where Italians and Germans were. They helped as much as they could, I can say, every colony, not only Cyprus.
Great. I think that's it. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Hope you enjoyed your time here.
Yes, that's a really great place. You guys have a lot of motorcycles. I still want to roam around and see some.